everyone. I hope you all had a nice holiday weekend. For those in the U.S., we celebrated Thanksgiving at the end of last week. So, wanted to kind of talk this morning about the concept of selflessness as I was meditating and just asking Spirit what the group wanted to hear today or needed to hear today. That's what came to me, this idea of selflessness. And, you know, especially this time of year, that's a practice we all make. And I think that's great, right? This idea of others and love, and you know, I think that's why we feel so much love around this time of year. We love the holidays because that presence that we are is really in the forefront, and we're acknowledging that, we're experiencing that more so than other times of the year. In fact, you can have this feeling all throughout the year just by recalling that spirit that you are, right? And that's a whole other video. But let's talk today about this idea of selflessness. And I kind of want to throw out a concept that may be a little bit counterintuitive or triggering or whatever, controversial for some people. And it's that selfishness with a capital S is the prerequisite for selflessness. And in fact, both are kind of one and the same, right? So when I say selfishness, I'm not meaning selfish in the way that we think of it in our egoic sense, right? Like, selfishness in the egoic sense is I get mine first, and you may or may not get some, but mine comes first, and I don't care about what you get. I care about me only, right? And then the other side of selflessness from an egoic standpoint is, oh, I don't need any, and you can take it all. I don't need any for myself, and kind of this self-deprecating martyrdom situation. Both are birthed from the same place of lack, in that there's this idea that there is not enough to go around for everybody. So, you know, either you get the first share or I get the first share, and whatever's left over, the other one gets it. And somebody is going to get left out. Somebody's not going to get what they need. That is not how Spirit works. Spirit is infinite. Love is infinite. There's plenty to go around. There's plenty for everybody. There's abundance. Yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. And in fact, both people can go first. Cool. And Spirit has exactly what both people need to feel completely fulfilled. How cool is that? So, when we talk about selfishness with a capital S, I mean, capital S is that self, that oneness that we are, that God that we are. That, recognizing that, basking in that, worshiping that spirit, that God source that we are, that is where all love flows. So for example, let's take holiday shopping. I feel like that's timely. And you go up to the mall, right? And you're like, hey, I'm going to get a good spot. And immediately you're in lack. It's okay. It's just an example. It's okay if you do this. I do it too. But the point is, you're thinking, okay, I need to get that spot. I'm going to go for that spot. Or you take the opposite approach and you're like, oh, we're going to give that spot to that person. Well, again, the concept of lack applies, that there's only one good spot. So think about it. What if you go up to the mall of life and all the spots are number one perfect? Take whichever one. Doesn't matter. They're all great. And there's plenty. Like, everybody can pull up and have a perfect spot. And everybody can pull up and have an incredible experience shopping and not feel crowded and not feel like, oh, there's only 2 of my size, I need to go get it. No. If you need need a size, it just appears. If your friend needs the same size, it appears. Great. And so, if you had this knowingness of your inner being, knowing that everything I need, I'm already taken care of. I got me. I with a capital I. That pure God source, that pure self with a capital S. It's where all perfection, all supply comes from. Bask in that. And just express gratitude for that. And kind of walk around with this knowingness and this confidence that, like, yeah, I got me. I got me. And if you had that, you wouldn't feel so compelled to keep it from others. You know? Like, so for example, sorry, this video is kind of bumpy. If, let's say you had an incredible Thanksgiving feast, right? You got so much food, it's coming out your eyeballs. And somebody comes over and they're like, hey, can I have some? You're like, oh, please, great, take it, good. When you know you have plenty, you're not so worried about others and this sense of lack. You just have this knowingness of plenty. So when I talk about selfishness, it's this inner knowing of self, that self has got me. Self has me taken care of. I am all things. I am perfect supply. And if somehow in the 3D something is showing me that I have a sense of lack, that's just coming from me. So go back into that self and just generate that sense of knowing. Accept and love what's going on in the 3D. Don't resist it. But just have that gratitude that all is abundance all the time. There is no lack. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about that today, that when you're selfish, when you go into that selfish state of I am perfect supply, I am all, you are then empowered to be selfless because you don't have to worry about who's taking care of you. You don't have to worry about who's taking care of your family and try to protect and shield and worry and make sure they've got enough because, you know, I want to make sure my family's taken care of course. But like Infinite says yes. Infinite says, yes, we're all cared for. Whoever needs it has abundance right now. So I want to encourage you to be selfish today, entering this season and always, but selfish. And also know that in that, your body mind will be cared for first too. Everybody's first. Everybody's yes. Yes and first. First and best. No compromising. No discount rack. So in this selflessness or selfishness where you're focusing on the true self, the body-mind is cared for in an egoic sense anyway. Ironically, the body-mind gets what it wants. You don't have to die to yourself and all the things that make you happy. You don't have to give that up. That is hooey. Throw that to the curb, please. Because you know what it does? It causes you to feel resentful of others who have stuff. And then you create more lack and more lack and more lack. So hopefully that's helpful today. Hopefully that video wasn't too bumpy. And just have an awesome day. Talk to y'all soon.